Joining us now is Jim Engdahl, the CEO of Mass Gold. Good to see you, Jim.
Good to see you, Mark.
Now, you've got a hub and spoke model with four main properties across the Ronge Greenstone Belt in northern Saskatchewan. So can you give us a brief overview?
I sure can. There are four main properties in that area. They've had lots of work done in the past over the last number of years, mainly probably pre-production before 1990. But for the most part, most of them were shut down or work stopped on them prior to the 2000, primarily because of gold prices, which was sub 300. But it was Ron Nedelitsky's vision to bring these all back into play and consolidate them into one gold play known as the Ronge Greenstone Belt. With gold prices at $1,800 US, 2,400 Canadian, these make an excellent prospect for our hub and spoke model, with the North Lake being the hub and the rest being the spokes. And it is our goal to put these back into production, along with Contact Lake, which will likely be the primary spoke along with Preview Southwest. And our objective there is to get it to 100,000 ounces a year. And we now control the complete south end of the belt of 84,000 acres and are working on a scoping study to get basically a strategic plan on how we're going to move forward. That scoping study might even end up being a PEA, depending on how things work out.
Right, and we'll get back to that scoping study. Now, your goal, Jim, this year was to get the resource to about 1.5 million plus ounces. Can we expect a resource update soon?
Yes, you can. We are expecting to have the resource update on North Lake, Preview Southwest, and Contact Lake by the end of January. We were initially thinking December, but it might take us to the end of January. And as we don't expect much of an increase in North Lake, although a lot of our drilling was done there, but that was mainly to move it from an indicated to an inferred resource. Our new resources will come from Contact and Preview Southwest.
Now, your properties are anywhere 8 to 40 kilometers away from the North Lake hub that you've been talking about, and you want to build a processing plant there. Is there a timeline to getting that built, or is it too early to say that?
Yeah, our plan is for the mill to be at North Lake, and as it sits there today, we probably the scoping study is going to give us a proper timeline, but we're estimating and targeting the 100,000 ounces in 4 to 5 years, and so we know that all the ore commingles exceptionally well. So the scoping study is going to be a big footprint for us to set our targets more realistically.
Right. You said this study will go a long way in determining the strategy and direction of Mass Gold. So can you elaborate on that? And what kind of work's being done right now?
Sure. Yeah, like we say, we continue to look for other acquisitions in the belt. As if you control the whole belt, anything into the future in terms of new discoveries, we believe will have to be processed through our facilities. So we continue to look for that other mill. And there is some other attractive opportunities in the area, about 60, 80 kilometers north. And we continue to watch, as we truly believe they will be in the market soon. And if that is the case, then most logical thing for us, for the company to do, is to be very aggressive on the bidding side of that. So also, if you recall, we announced the deal a few weeks ago, special relationship with the Kitsaki Developments, which is the industrial arm of the Ronge Band. And they are going to consult to us on any acquisition or things that we are considering within their traditional territory. And that gives them a seat on our board as well, and sits at the table and help in making us decision and really becoming a true partner. And that is what it's going to be, a very long, we believe it's going to be a very long gold play. And that should be they should be the major benefactor in the area.
So you're touching on potential acquisitions there. What's your criteria when you look for them? And do you have anything at advanced stage right now in terms of talks?
We have a lot in the planning stage, but we don't have anything specifically at talks that we can talk about. But we're looking at the whole belt. And as we see the belt, we try and define getting that whole gold play in place. So we got three objectives there in looking at that, and really what our scoping study is going to do. And one is best to define, achieve our goals in the hub and spoke around the North Lake being the hub, and how the spoke fits in. And we believe that this may become a P, as I've mentioned. The next part of that is our Greywacke property, which is also, we need to determine what our best use for that is, because it's about 40 kilometers from our hub and spoke model. It's got 155,000 ounces, of which it's got 81,000 ounces of high grade that we've done a bulk sample on in 2013. And it really shows a terrific recovery just on gravity separation. So with that 81,000 ounces at that grade, it could be early cash flow for the hub and spoke model further south, or it could be a part of a spoke with the condensing the ore. Or if the other mill that is potentially available, and if we happen to be fortunate enough to get it, it could be feedstock for that, because it's again, it's that mill is designed for high grade, low throughput, where the North Lake mill will be low grade, high throughput.
Now, Jim, your chairman, Ronald Nedlitsky, has been part of three major discoveries, including SK Creek. And you've said that MAS was put together kind of on a similar idea. So can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, you're correct. Ron became a mining Hall of Famer with his three major discoveries, along with several dozen other successful junior companies at. He believes that the Ronge Belt is well within the Trans-Hudson origin path that starts down in Wyoming with the Homestake mine and goes all the way up through Saskatchewan and out Manitoba through Hudson Bay. That similar structure in Africa is where all the prolific gold production comes from there. So his belief is that many more discoveries will happen once the first several mines are underway, and this area becomes known for what it has the extreme potential to be. And there's a tremendous amount of blue sky that's virtually unrestricted, because nothing's been drilled below 300 meters there to speak of in any of those particular deposits or areas.
That's really interesting. All the way down to Wyoming. How about that?
Yeah.
Now, so in terms of the stock, you've said that you think on a market cap per ounce basis, you're undervalued. So what is it you want to get across to investors in terms of the opportunity with MAS Gold?
Well, we believe we're undervalued for several reasons based on comparable companies. Pardon me. This market has been the worst we've ever seen for many years for junior golds, but in times we should be valued, in good times, in the $30 to $60 per ounce on our balance sheet. But there's several boxes that get ticked depending on where you to fit that $30 to $60 in. One is your jurisdiction, and we're in the number one jurisdiction globally in Saskatchewan, being a very rich province, very easy to work with the government here. The second is your Indigenous relationships. We have a great relationship with our First Nations partners in the Laronge Band. Can North is one of their companies, and they do all of our environmental work. And the size of our resource in blue sky is, we believe by the end of January of this year, we will have approximately 1.5 million ounces in resource, with a huge amount of blue sky and potential other acquisitions that could bring us along. And we've been buying our ounces in the ground at sub $7 an ounce. So we find it much more attractive to do that than greenfields projects. And we have great infrastructure. We have all four properties within 20 kilometers of a major road, along with a power line, as well as access to an experienced Indigenous workforce that used to actually work at the Contact Lake mine. And our timeline to production, presently sitting at, like I said earlier, maybe around 5 years, but could be moved ahead with another acquisition or two within the next year. So based on the above, we believe we should be trading in the above a range of what our market cap is about 8 million today, with 1.5 million ounces, and at $30, we should have a market cap of the $40 to $60 million range, which would put us our share price in the 20-25 cent range. So are we undervalued? Yeah, terribly undervalued. And I think it's just a terrific opportunity now for anybody to step in and really, with the financing that we're doing right now, to get a great buy and flow through and/or hard dollars with some warrants. So I think probably one of the best buys in the market, I believe.
All right. Thanks for the update, Jim. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you again.
Thank you, Mark.
Jim Engdahl, CEO of Mass Gold. We'll talk to you next time.